Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Running out of hard drive space on your computer is an extremely frustrating experience, especially if you're in the middle of working on something. So it's a good idea once in a while to take a look at your hard drive and delete any files that you're not using anymore. Now, that can be a pretty slow and painful process if you're just using Windows File Explorer or Finder on a Mac to go through and hunt down those large files, but there are some programs that you can use that will help analyze your hard drive and help you figure out what's taking up space to make your life a little bit easier when you're trying to clean up those old files. So let's take a look at how this works. Now, there are a few different programs that you can use to analyze your hard drive to see what's taking up space, but my choice is Windows Directory Statistics. It's been around a while. It's definitely not the prettiest program you'll ever see, but it does work quite well and it's free. And you can get this program at WinDirStat.net, and I'll put that link in the description of this video. So let's go ahead and open up WinDirStat. And when you do so, you get this little box that pops up that lets you choose what you would like to analyze. Now, normally, if you're using a laptop, there would be only one hard drive or maybe a external drive plugged in, and you'd be able to analyze both. I've got 3 hard drives in my computer: my C drive, my media drive, and my gaming drive. So I can select one or all 3 of these to analyze, or I can actually select a specific folder on my computer. So if I had a folder that had a lot of subfolders and I just wanted to see how the space was being taken up within that, I can analyze a single folder. But I'm going to go ahead and select my C drive, which is already highlighted, and hit OK. And now Windows Directory Statistics is going to analyze the drive and let me know which folders are taking up the most space. Now, this is going to take a few minutes, so let's let this do its thing, and we'll check back in a second. Okay, so that took about 2 minutes or so to finish up, and when it's done, it gives you this really interesting visualization of how your data is distributed on your drive. It's kind of got this cool sci-fi thing going on. That's all good and well, but I actually find just using the list to be a little bit easier. The one thing is there is a key over here that shows you the color coding of what files are taking up what in your hard drive. But at any rate, we can see now that within my C drive, the folder that's taking up the most space, 30% of the space being used, is my user folder. So we can actually open that up by hitting the plus sign, and then we can see what's taking up space within that. And it's, of course, my user folder within that. And if I open that up, I can see that my app data folder is taking up 25 gigs of the 38 gigs that's used in my folder. So I can continue to go into these folders and figure out what's taking up space. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the things in my app data folder are files associated with certain programs that I use. So I probably don't want to go and delete any of that. However, if I was to go into, let's say, my downloads folder, I can see that in my downloads folder, I have 6 gigabytes of stuff just sitting in there taking up space. So I can go through and I can take a look at these files and say, like, okay, I definitely don't need this folder anymore. So right from Windows Directory Statistics, I can right-click on a file and I can delete it either to the recycle bin, or I can actually permanently delete it right from here. So what's great is after Windows Directory Statistic analyzes my drive, I don't need to then go into File Explorer and hunt down the same files. I can literally just delete them right from here. In addition, I can right-click it and I can open that folder, which actually opens the file within Windows Explorer. So if I want to look at a little bit more detail about what's in those folders, or maybe open up some of those files and see what's going on with them, I can do that. And then, of course, Windows Directory Statistic just stays open in the background. So this is really nice. It lets you look through your drive, find the folders that are taking up a lot of space, and delete files that you may have forgotten were there. And the downloads folder is usually one that takes up a lot of space because you're constantly downloading attachments from emails or new programs or what have you. So this is a great way to see what's taking up space on your hard drive and clear up some of that space. Now, if you are a Mac user, Windows Directory Statistic won't work, but there's a great program called DaisyDisk, and I've used this quite a bit on Macs. It works exactly the same way. The only difference is it is a paid program. It's $10, but there is a free trial that you can use. And the one thing I like about DaisyDisk is it is much prettier than Windows Directory Statistic, and it has this really cool like circular visualization of your files. And like Windows Directory Statistic, in DaisyDisk, you can grab files and delete them right from that program. So if you are a Mac user, I definitely recommend you download the free trial and check this out. And I have to say, it is definitely worth the $10. You know, a couple times a year, I would, when I had a Mac, go through and clean up my hard drives. And I found DaisyDisk to be immensely helpful in helping me find those areas on my computer that are taking up a ton of space. So as you can see, Windows Directory Statistic, or DaisyDisk if you're on a Mac, makes it much easier to take a look at what's taking up space on your hard drive. Now, when you use your computer over the course of a few months, you accumulate a lot of junk. And it's easy to let files slip through the cracks, especially if you've downloaded large files and they're just sitting in your downloads folder. It's easy to let that slip through the cracks and start to fill up your hard drive. So using a program like Windows Directory Statistic once in a while to clean up your drive is a good idea. It will get rid of all that extra junk and make sure that your hard drive doesn't fill up when you're in the middle of working on something. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope this was helpful. As always, hit that subscribe button. We release new tech tips every weekday at noon, as well as 2 live stream projects every weekday at 10 and 2. And check out the DAE.com for our list of online classes and workshops. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. That's perfectly fine. And if you have an idea for a tech tip you'd like to see me create, throw it in the comments and I'll do my best. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next tech tip.